piece, so you don't see the other thread. Okay, sometimes a small piece here, you have the hole, okay, here. So sometimes it's possible that you see the thread of the bottom, okay, here or here, no, for example here. Okay, it means that the tension is not balanced, so it's possible that when you see from the top the thread of the bottom, it means that or the thread of the top is too strong, okay, and it pulls too much that one of the bottom, something like this. This is the thread, here you have the hole, okay. When you see from the like this, okay, on that one on the top passes through these loops, okay, the thickness of the leather, and these loops are hidden here, okay. Here you have the holes, here. These knots are here, and here you have the thread of the bottom. You see the thread here, but the knots are here. It's possible that these knots are more visible, so you have to find the right tension. Sometimes it's really thick, so the tension has to be a little bit looser, okay. So because if you have a specific length of the stitch, it's possible that the thread that has here is too tight, okay, because the height of the leather is higher, okay. Here the thread is between this wheel, okay, here and here. These two are two screws, okay. If you move the wheel to the right side, okay, the pressure of this part on the thread is stronger, okay. It means that the thread will be tighter, okay, tight, and so this thread will be stronger, okay. If you move the wheel on the left side, it will be a little bit looser, okay. The same here. Every time try to move not only one wheel but both, okay. Be careful when you move this wheel on this machine, because it's possible that it goes out, okay, and it jump. Oh, it works. It's okay for now. Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So stitch and you can see the thread of the bottom, okay. So or this thread is too strong or the top. Okay, now on the top. I don't see the orange thread. Okay, here and here. Okay, I can see the red thread here. To find the right tension can take time.
And you always try to move them the same amount, more or less, right?
More or less the same, yes. Here on the top is right. On the back I still no, see, it's a little bit too strong. Okay, because if you touch the leather here, the stitch, touch it. Vediamo if it's possible. So you can open this part and move this wheel. Okay, moving it, you can see that this part goes up or down. Okay, when this part goes up, it means that the length of the thread of the stitch is shorter. When it goes down, is longer. So I show you. I want to move it here. I lock this part and my here, okay, and then come here because you have to see. Take the thread. Here you have a space. Okay, so here and then make it pass on the bottom of the wheel. Don't worry, because when you have to make the bobbin, we will explain again. It's normally here, 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 and here. And then here again, through the space here. Okay? Then you have the bobbin. On both sides you have a cut. It doesn't matter the side that you choose, okay? It's important that the thread goes from the inside to the outside, okay? So here and here. And then put the wheel here. Okay, and then sorry. I mean, okay, and then lift this part here, and then every time you have a starting pressing here. Okay, start pressing here, so it rolls, and you can feel the bobbin. Okay, so it's important to remove the bobbin, okay, and remove the thread from the needle, okay, because when this part walks, here starts moving, okay. So if you don't remember, if you forget to remove the thread, you have a node, is a problem, okay. The feet, hold this thread tight, okay, and then tight, so you can cut the thread, because this thread has to be super short. If okay, nothing different. The length of the thread is here. Moving this part to the right, the thread will be the stitch will be shorter. The left will be longer. For this other one, and then here you have another hole. The same here, from the inside to the outside. Lift the feet. Here, remove the bobbin. Remove the threads. And then hold this thread, okay, so it doesn't go here. Keep it tight, and then press. Sometimes you press, and I don't remember if you know, probably there. Sometimes this part doesn't work. Press the pedal a little bit, push more, okay, and then here cut the thread. The pocket, okay. Remember to be careful to the side, because here you don't have the salpa. Here you have it, and you have to stitch where you have the salpa, okay. So stitch. This is the back of the stitch. Then pull the threads on the back. The leather here is really smooth, so I need to scratch the edge. So when I put the glue, the glue here, the glue here. Glue here, and then when you start stitching, if you start from this side, okay, this side, stitch here, okay. So if you start from here, in this case you have to start from here, okay. So here you have the top of the stitch, okay, because if you stitch both of them, one, two, and mark these 4 dots, okay. The way draw the netto sides, and then you have to on one piece of salpa and one piece of eco lining, you have to spray the glue. There tip. So when you have to put the glue on something, on a big surface, you can use this okay. Or here you have the pedal. Okay. Here the eco lining here, and then don't put the gun too close to the piece, but more or less at this distance. Spray and spray. Okay. Here. Okay. Don't press. Press the center using the finger in this way, okay? A straight line. I'm following a straight line. And then detach the salpa a little bit, and then do this, and now detach the salpa little bit here, and then do this. Okay, okay, because this is the lining. The movement of the passport holder is this one. Okay, if I attach it flat, when I fold, when I close the passport holder, I have the waves here. Okay, so I have to try to help the leather to have this shape. Sometimes, if you use the leather, for example, for the inside, all around, okay, the piece where you have the cuts, okay, I'll use this lining for the passport holder that has the soft leather. This other lining for the stiff leather. So I put the glue maximum 5 millimeters in from the netto line.
This is for the stiff leather, right?
Yes. Place the salpa on the eco lining, and then press the center, okay, because on the frame the salpa a little bit, and then do this. The same here. I make the curve. I have 2 layers. That one inside, I followed the the edge of netto side here, the line, okay. But as you can see, curving the piece, the salpa is shorter, okay. So it doesn't matter the shape for the stiff leather or soft. Okay. The other one here. Okay. If the leather is smooth, scratch it. Okay, if you have a smooth leather as the lining, 5 millimeters in. Touch the pocket here. Hammer. And then cut the salpa, leaving the frame. Okay. Five millimeters in from the netto line. On this structure, the same, 5 millimeters in. Remember, be careful, you have to use this lining for the soft leather. Yes, I show you. For the soft leather, attach it in the center, flat. Don't give the here. You can turn, hammer. This is not a really stiff leather, but it's a little bit stiffer than this one. Sometimes you have to place it onto the leather, press here, and then detach the leather, and then give the curve, the same here, not too much, you have just had the leather here, and then okay. If I give the curve when it's closed, the leather is tight, but when I open, I have the waves here, okay, for the stiff leather. If I attach it flat, when I close, it's too tight, the leather, and the passport holder try to open, okay, so high, okay, so you can skive, leaving around 1 millimeter and a half from the structure, okay, a longer leather because the thickness is higher, okay, so the same here. Here the measurement to skive is the same, here is different, okay. And then scratch the leather. Sometimes you don't need to scratch the leather, But in my case, I have a layer of plastic on the leather. Okay, so it's too smooth. Put the glue all around, from here around 3 millimeters in. Okay. Fold. All around, okay, and leave it.
And then you lock with the screw, okay? Okay. I don't want that. You can move her position using this screw, okay? These two screws. So to do it, you have to take one of these. You unlock the screw and it moves. Okay, so in this way, and it's okay. The screw, okay. That is useful to lift the guide. So if you are stitching a piece that has something that is like that, so you have one piece and you have to stitch this to that. You can lift with this the guide to stitch close to this edge, but without press too much this part, okay? The important thing is that you have to know that when you arrive stitching here, where you have the pockets, okay? So it means that here is the back of the item. So I turn it and I start stitching from this part here, okay? So the bottom and the back, okay? So always hold the thread before stitch. Okay, here this part is of the passport holder, okay? Here the same, okay? Okay, now here I have this, okay? So sometimes happen that this part lock the feet of the machine because it's higher than this part, okay? So if you want, you can do this by hand for the first time, okay? In this way. The same here. Here is thicker. Then I pass to another kind of thickness, okay? the same. I have like a stair, okay? Then, when to finish the stitch, you have to take the same hole that you take the first time, okay? When you start stitch, okay? So I press the needle, and when the needle touches the leather, I push down the feet. I push down the needle, I rotate the piece, okay? And then we have to do 2 overlap stitch. So I need to catch the first 2 stitch that I made when I start, okay? And you can do by hand or doesn't matter, because if you don't touch the length of the stitch, nothing change, okay? Okay, so to see where you are going, you have to lift the feet, catch the first hole, okay, the same hole, then push down the feet, and then you can put down the needle, the same for the second, okay, in this way. Then you pull the threads, cut short, burn, and the same with the hole, you hide the thread.
So you have to hold here this part, this extra, and then you have to cut really close to the stitch, this way. So this, lift the leather, and it's really hard. When you cut, at the same time you have to pull okay. Pull the blade straight, not in this way, okay? Because you see the thickness of the leather here. It's not so visible, it's light, the leather is light, but hold the blade straight. Enough to cut the leather, but don't press too much. I put this finger here, attached to the edge, so I can move this finger along this edge, and I don't change the distance.